Greetings, everybody. Welcome once again to another entry of my director's diary. This is week 4, day 2. So, this week, or today, we had a very lively day. We were juggling movement in the morning, as well as working towards notes, or rather working towards a run, another stagger. Stay tuned to hear about how to kind of negotiate around kind of movement director who kind of potentially wants to also or oversteps and potentially steps on toes. So it was a pretty good session. I anticipated, I'd realized that the actors were in need of more kind of physical muscularity. So I spoke to the movement director and kind of let them know about the plan. So they came in with a game plan around kind of just opening them up, or warming them up and starting to kind of reminding them really about the kind of the physical abilities and different physical language. We went working towards a run. So after that morning session, that was our plan. We then moved into from the warm-up and physical language, we moved into specific scenes and how to clean that up. And I had to also kind of communicate to the movement director that there were notes from the writer. And it's a very delicate kind of relationship, because on one hand, some people just ignore the writer and go, "This is what I want," and forget what what you want. But you have to kind of understand that you are helping to realize the writer's dream and writer's vision for their play, but at the same time, you're also kind of interpreting this play. So there's the balance of taking on board their notes, and then there's also the balance of, going, actually, no, this works better. So I had to communicate that to the team and let them know, so they're not practicing and doing something that they may not end up doing. So that's something I had to relay. So you must always communicate to people any kind of possible changes. So we did that. And this was around the time where I kind of also realized that the movement director might potentially be stepping on toes or my toes. So I didn't address it directly, but just kind of the reason being is that you don't quite know where does the role of a movement director and the role of a director kind of, where does it begin and end? Because the movement director needs to, communicate to the actors their intention and motivation for particular moves, right? But at the same time, that's the job of a director. So you don't want them discussing things that go against what you say. So if the actor does something and then the movement director told them that, but then you turn around and say, "Why did you do that?" They go, "Well, I was told to do this by the movement director." I go, No, no, no. So you must always be present there, and you must also kind of let it be known that actually, in a very subtle and respectful way, this is the direction, this is the vision, that the conversation I've had with the actors. So I was able to do that. Still working towards it, improving that, finessing it. And then in the afternoon, we worked towards a run, but I wanted to read through certain scenes, and make sure that we were on the same page, because you remember when we came back from the holiday, from the weekend, there were discrepancies in the lines. So we had to finesse that properly. But then I'd realized that one of the actors kept yawning a lot. Like, this isn't my first time realizing it, but it really came to a head when they kept yawning through their lines and the other actors were noticing. So I thought, you know what? Should I let them know now, or should I just wait till the end of the day? I chose the latter. So once they finished reading that, I got up and say, "Shall we go for a run?" So we jogged in the big rehearsal space, and while they were saying their lines to wake them up, And again, I started to kind of, the purpose of that is to again help them engage their breath, but also to wake them up from a lunch, right? Um, so we did that, and it used again the same exercise of the rope, the tugging. Added to this as well, there was a little bit of distance that I put between the actors so that they didn't feel like they just had to be super, super close, and which was killing their vocal energy. So if you do have the scope, so instead of bringing them right next to each other, you can kind of get them separating and coming closer, but maintaining that level that they had. So work did that. And yeah, then we had a pretty strong run. It was I gave it, a rating out of 10. And I knew they could take it to the next level, so I noted them on that. And then at the end of the day, that's when I brought up, while no one else was about, I said, first of all, I said, do you have maybe a condition, which can again be delicate because people don't have to disclose their, conditions or whatever disabilities or illnesses. They don't have to. But I felt I needed to in order to not kind of make accusations. So it's just I noticed you yawn a lot. You were yawning a lot. And so then they said, really? Um, I didn't notice. Well, you did, so just be careful. Just do it discreetly. Otherwise, it might be misconstrued for boredom. Um, so that is something that I was able to kind of get to the bottom of, which once it was done, we then moved on, and the next day didn't really see much yawning. So that was really useful. But stay tuned for tomorrow. We've got voice and dialect and another run, this time with costume. So stay tuned to hear exactly how that went. So remember, play a direct play, repeat. See you soon.